Introducing today's video. Why Warren Buffett got rich with one simple rule. A documentary series from the stables of WealthLore. Imagine waking up every morning knowing your investments earned more money while you were asleep than most people earn in a lifetime. For Warren Buffett, that isn't fantasy. It's reality. Yet what's remarkable isn't just how much money he has. It's how he built it. No revolutionary invention, no viral app, no cryptocurrency fortune, no lottery ticket, no overnight success. Instead, Warren Buffett became one of the richest people in history by following one surprisingly simple rule that almost everyone understands, but very few people have the discipline to follow. Never interrupt the power of compound growth. It sounds almost too simple. How could one principle create a fortune worth well over $100 billion? The answer begins with a young boy in Omaha, Nebraska. Long before private jets, billion-dollar acquisitions, and global fame, Warren Buffett was fascinated by one thing: money. Not because he wanted expensive cars or luxurious mansions. He was fascinated by what money could do. As a child, Buffett sold chewing gum door to door. He delivered newspapers before sunrise. He sold Coca-Cola bottles for a profit. He even placed pinball machines in barbershops and collected income while the machines did the work. Most children looked for ways to spend money. Buffett looked for ways to make money, produce even more money. That difference would shape the rest of his life. At just 11 years old, Buffett bought his first stock. Like nearly every new investor, he immediately experienced disappointment. The share price fell shortly after he bought it. Fear crept in. Eventually, the stock recovered. Relieved, Buffett sold it for a small profit. Then, something unforgettable happened. The stock kept climbing. Higher, higher, and even higher. That painful experience taught him one of the greatest investing lessons of his life. The biggest returns often belong to those who are willing to wait. Years later, Buffett studied under legendary investor Benjamin Graham, often called the father of value investing. Graham taught him that buying a stock wasn't simply purchasing a ticker symbol. It meant buying a piece of an actual business. That idea completely changed Buffett's perspective. Instead of asking, "What stock will go up next?" he started asking, "What business would I happily own for the next 20 years?" That question became the foundation of everything that followed. When Buffett began investing professionally, he wasn't chasing excitement. He searched for businesses that sold products people needed every single day. Companies with recognizable brands, strong management, reliable profits, businesses that competitors would struggle to replace. He wanted companies that could continue earning money whether the economy was booming or struggling. Eventually, this philosophy led him to invest in businesses such as Coca-Cola, American Express, Apple, and many others through Berkshire Hathaway. Notice something interesting. Most of these companies weren't the newest. They weren't the trendiest. Many investors ignored them because they seemed boring. Buffett loved boring, because boring businesses often produce predictable profits. Predictable profits create consistent growth, and consistent growth fuels compounding. This is where his famous rule becomes incredibly powerful. Imagine investing $1. If that dollar earns 10% every year, it becomes $1.10. That doesn't sound impressive. But the following year, you don't earn interest only on the original dollar. You earn interest on the dollar and the extra 10 cents. Then the following year, you earn returns on an even larger amount. Year after year, your money begins earning money. Then that new money starts earning even more money. The process repeats again and again. At first, the progress feels painfully slow. Many people quit because they don't see dramatic results. But compounding doesn't grow in a straight line. It grows exponentially. It's like rolling a tiny snowball down a snowy mountain. At first, the snowball barely changes. After a while, it becomes noticeably larger. Eventually, it becomes so massive that it seems almost unstoppable. Wealth works in much the same way. Buffett often says that time is the friend of a wonderful business. The longer you own a great company, the more opportunities it has to grow. While millions of investors constantly buy and sell, Buffett often does something surprisingly different. He waits, sometimes for decades. This patience has confused many people. During stock market booms, investors often rush toward the latest exciting opportunity. During crashes, they panic and sell. Buffett frequently moves in the opposite direction. When fear dominates the market, he begins looking for bargains. His famous advice captures this perfectly. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. That mindset helped him navigate financial crises that frightened investors around the world. He understood something most people forget. Markets rise, markets fall. But truly, exceptional businesses continue creating value over long periods of time. By focusing on decades instead of days, Buffett removed much of the emotional noise that causes investors to make costly mistakes. Another reason Buffett became extraordinarily wealthy is that he rarely interrupted the compounding process. Many investors finally earn good returns, only to spend the money immediately. Buffett did something different. He reinvested. Instead of treating profits as spending money, he treated them as seeds for even greater future growth. Every successful investment created the opportunity for another. Every profitable business generated cash that could purchase another quality business. His wealth became a machine that continuously expanded itself. Over time, Berkshire Hathaway transformed into one of the world's largest holding companies, owning businesses across insurance, energy, manufacturing, transportation, retail, and consumer products. Each successful company strengthened the entire organization. The system became larger than any individual investment. Yet perhaps the most astonishing part of Buffett's story is when most of his wealth was actually created. Many people assume he became incredibly rich while he was young. The reality is very different. The overwhelming majority of Warren Buffett's net worth was accumulated after the age of 60. Even more surprisingly, a substantial portion came after he turned 70. Why? Because compounding rewards patience more than speed. For decades, Buffett allowed his investments to keep growing without interruption. Every passing year increased the power of all the years before it. That's why financial experts often point out that if Buffett had stopped investing at 50, he would still have been successful, but nowhere near as wealthy as history remembers him today. Time did much of the heavy lifting. This lesson extends far beyond investing. Knowledge compounds. Skills compound. Healthy habits compound. Businesses compound. Relationships compound. Reputation compounds. Small improvements made consistently for years often outperform dramatic efforts sustained for only a few weeks. Unfortunately, human psychology works against us. We crave immediate results. We want quick profits, instant success. Rapid recognition. Social media encourages us to believe that wealth is built overnight. History tells a very different story. Behind nearly every extraordinary fortune lies decades of disciplined decision-making that few people ever notice. Buffett's life is proof of that principle. Despite becoming one of the richest individuals on Earth, he continued living remarkably simply compared to many billionaires. He remained in the same Omaha home he purchased decades ago. He focused less on displaying wealth and more on allocating capital wisely. His greatest luxury wasn't spending. It was having the freedom to make long-term decisions without being distracted by short-term trends. This perspective also shaped his advice to ordinary investors. Rather than trying to predict every market movement, Buffett has repeatedly suggested that many people would be better served by consistently investing in diversified funds and allowing time to work. His message has remained remarkably consistent for decades. Start early. Invest regularly. Own quality assets. Stay patient. Avoid emotional decisions. Allow compounding to do what it has always done. Simple advice. Extremely difficult execution. Because the hardest part of investing is rarely mathematics. It's managing your own emotions. Fear encourages people to sell when prices fall. Greed encourages them to chase prices after they have already risen. Patience asks us to do something uncomfortable. Wait. Trust the process. Ignore the noise. Buffett mastered that emotional discipline better than almost anyone, and that may be the real reason behind his extraordinary success. His greatest advantage wasn't higher intelligence. It wasn't secret information. It wasn't perfect timing. It was consistency. Year after year, decade after decade, decision after decision. He simply kept following the same principle while countless others abandoned it. Today, investors around the world study Warren Buffett's stock picks. But perhaps they're studying the wrong thing. The companies matter. The principles matter even more. Because fortunes aren't usually built by constantly searching for the next opportunity. They're built by making a handful of excellent decisions and giving those decisions enough time to flourish. So did Warren Buffett really become rich because of one simple rule? In many ways, yes. Not because the rule itself was complicated, but because almost nobody has the patience to follow it for an entire lifetime. His story reminds us that extraordinary wealth doesn't always belong to the fastest. It often belongs to the most consistent. The people willing to think in decades instead of days. The people who understand that time is not merely passing. Time is working. And when paired with discipline, patience, and sound decisions, time becomes the most powerful investment partner anyone could ever have. That is the simple rule Warren Buffett followed, and it transformed a curious boy from Omaha into one of the greatest investors the world has ever known.